من الله ولا صاحب أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. This is the only thing that is in existence. This is the only reality. So what is our purpose? To witness that reality. That's why we're saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Are we witnessing that reality now? No, we're not. But we're seeing signs. Whether it is through our experience or whatever Allah has created, subhanahu wa ta'ala, for us. There are signs pointing to that reality. What is that reality? That reality is not us. The reality is the reality of the Prophet ﷺ that will lead us to the reality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're asking the question, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created His most beloved one. Like this or like that. You're saying, what is the use then of all other creation if He has the most beloved one? It's very heavy. I don't think this is something that I should be put there on the internet. You remember in the morning after Berat, on the day of Berat, Fajr time, they presented me with something, didn't they? What was it? Hilya Sharif. Hilya Sharif, it is in calligraphic form. It is a specialty of the Ottomans. The Ottomans, they give taste and beauty to the religion. And the Hilya Sharif, it is a calligraphic form of, they make special design only. This is describing the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then you have the Bismillah Sharif. For example, you have the Ayatul Karimah describing the Prophet ﷺ. You have a circle with a hilal. The word hilya is coming from the hilal too. And describing what the Prophet ﷺ is, according to the Sahabi Kiram. Then they have the Hadith Qudsi underneath. Then they have other descriptions, physical descriptions. And then you have different things that they put from time to time. They have Hazrat Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali. Sometimes they have the Ashra Mubashara. Sometimes they would also have the 99 Asma al-Husna in there. And the 99 names of the Holy Prophet ﷺ also. It's very beautiful. And the Prophet ﷺ is saying, those who hear my description, or they read my description, meaning the Hilya, it is as if he has seen me. And there's a very powerful dua and protection, divine protection, that the Ottomans, they were running to have it in the big masjids, or they're running to have it in their homes if they can afford it, because in those days people are writing, they're not printing it out, and blessings come. So in the Hilya Sharif, especially in the old traditional ones, they would have that Hadith Qudsi saying what? If it were not for you, if it were not for you, Allah is saying this. These direct divine words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Holy Prophet ﷺ is giving us only a little bit, a fraction of it. Private conversations between the Habib and the Mahbub, the lover and the beloved. And Allah is saying to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, if it were not for you, if it were not for you, meaning it's only because of you. It's only because of you that I have created all of existence. Meaning what now? All of existence, it is because of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And when Hazrat Ali Karamallahu Wajh, when he was cleaning up the Kaaba, he entered into that reality and he understood that everything, not just this world, you understand? Everything in creation, this world, this system, these universes, these galaxies, is time, everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, that we know and we don't know, that we're yet to discover. It is in the Prophet ﷺ. He is there. So, for those who are awake, to discover our own reality is to discover that reality. People are jumping divine, divine. What divine? Divine according to what? Divine according to those who have deviated. There is a kind of divinity according to that deviation. Or divine according to those ones who they have disobeyed. They're pulling Allah's anger. There's a kind to. Everyone now is having their own version of what is divine. But the Holy Prophet ﷺ, no. There is some sort of a protection there. And every Prophet ﷺ, all the prophets, for them to understand their own reality, all the prophets, before they receive the prophethood that is given to them, they have to declare their witnessing of the reality of the Prophet ﷺ, of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then this is understanding that everything in creation, Prophet was also there to witness. And if we are holding on tightly, if we are putting aside our own idols, our own existence, and we are holding on and claiming only the existence of the Prophet ﷺ through our own guides, then you'll understand, you'll walk in the footsteps, you'll disappear then in that. Then that time you become part of the ocean. That time you realize you were never separated. You were never separated. You're not meant to be separated, but you yourself, you have put separation between you and that reality. If we exist, if we are separate, we're already declaring our own partnership. Partnership to the Prophet. You understand? And partnership to Allah. So, we are part of that reality, as Hazrat Ali witnessed not only the reality of mankind, everything that Allah has created, the 7 earths and the Jahannams and beyond. There is something that is beyond Jahannam. The 7 skies, paradises, the throne of Allah and beyond, east and west, north and south, it is in the reality of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And what he had witnessed once, Hazrat Uwais al-Qarni, that is in our silsila, he says, I witnessed that every single moment. So we are all sleeping. We are in the process of just waking up little bit, and little bit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's not in need of anything, but He loves that one. And if you are understanding that love, then slowly you come into your own reality and you find your place also in that reality of the Prophet ﷺ. Especially for us that are Ummati Muhammad ﷺ, that is not the earlier Ummats. Especially for us that is living in this Ahir of the Ahir Zaman, belonging to that Ummat, there is a very big blessing for us to return to that. Not through so much of our own work also. It's not because of so much of our own effort that you're trying to do something, but it's because of the will. And just holding on and not putting any doubt in there. The strength will come very quickly. It's very easy for them to just clean us up. Don't you know? The Mawlid Sharif is saying, if you say one time Allah with love, all your sins and everything, it will fall like leaves. Just one time if you say Allah sincerely. And who is the best one that Allah has given to the world, that He has not given to the world before? The Holy Prophet ﷺ, to show us that way. And He has not left whatever Allah has given. He is not taking back because He is the most generous. So, prophethood has finished, but the blessing, it is still continuing. Understand? So, yes. Now you understand a little bit of the connection and understand a little bit of why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting so much value to this insan, Hazrati insan, and especially Hazrati insan that is from His most beloved one living in these times. That Shaykh Maulana is saying, Hazrat Lari, if we know how much value Allah has put to each man or each woman, we would run to make a crown for that person. That value. And the sheikhs, they are running to put that value on that individual. The individual does not understand that value himself. He's so full with his own arrogance and stubbornness that is turning into a very ugly creature. But he has been created to represent his Lord. So now you have to remove all that ugliness. That is a process. Inshallah, with our will, with our faith in our Shaykh, it should be very easy for them to grant it to us. Very hard for us to earn it. Very easy for them to grant it. They're looking for Qalbun Salim, the heart that is pure, the heart that you have gotten rid from all the enemies of mankind. In that time, very easy for them to grant it and for you to reconnect to that reality. You understand? Now, what is your second part of the question? Yeah. Whole purpose now in the story of, not story, in that reality, in that episode situation with Adam alayhi salam and Shaitan. What is that whole episode about? What is it about? What is the most important thing that we can take from that, the most important lesson? There are so many. The lessons are endless, but what is the most important lesson, especially because of tariqat and our jama'at and the sohbah that we're giving, and related to your question? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has created that maqam al-mahmud, the most highly praised station. Angels are looking at it, all angels, including the angels that are just unimaginably powerful and huge, let's say. All angels, archangels and all other angels, and they look at that maqam al-mahmud and they know instinctively, they know that it is not for them. It is for a different creature. Shaitan, who is not one of the angels, he is from the nation of the Taifas, the jinns. And he is looking at that station and he wants it. Does he know it's not for him too? Yes, he does. He knows. But he's pushing himself to get that. His hundreds and thousands of years of worship, it is for that station. It is not for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is for a reward. It is not because Allah deserves to be worshipped. He was created before mankind was revealed. I'm saying revealed because mankind has been created before everything else, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hidden mankind. And He only had that revelation, revealed mankind, after everything else was created. We are the oldest creation, the most ancient. that one that has been promised. And he, Azrael at that time, he has done so many things for the sake of Allah. Or he thinks it's for the sake of Allah. He did things running to fulfill Allah's orders too. He was here in existence in this world, again, for hundreds and thousands of years in this world. Who knows how many millions of years he was. His kind was also here, is also still here. And he did certain things to them to make sure that they are having proper faith to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala too. But he was doing everything not for the sake of Allah because he deserves to be worshipped, but he was doing everything for that maqam, for that reward, that he knows it is not for him, it is for something else, someone else. And he knows when Adam alayhi salam, the form of Adam alayhi salam was created, just by the form of Adam alayhi salam, it is a miracle. Just by the physicality of Adam alayhi salam, it is a miracle. It is very weak, but it is a miracle. That he went through everywhere, in every vein, in every part of Adam alayhi salam before the spirit was blown, and he said this is empty. And in some ways he is right. It is empty. And he put his finger into the belly button, tasted it, and he spat it out. He says it's dirty. And yes, in our physical form, we are very weak. And the physical form, if you leave this body without any life, 1, 2, 3 days, it is the most dirty thing in the face of this world. But the whole episode now, what is the most important lesson that we're going to learn from that? Related to your question. Because your question is what? If we have a purpose. And how do we really know if our purpose, Shaitan also had a purpose, if our purpose is according to divine will or not? Correct? I'm breaking it down again. So in that episode of Adam alayhi salam, what is Allah teaching mankind? What is he showing? Huh? To who? Huh. Because submission now, many people they submit to their nafs. They submit, Shaitan submitted to his arrogance. His arrogance, it is greater, he has greater faith to his arrogance than to Allah. But that whole situation now, Allah is teaching us that in order to submit to me, you have to submit to the master and the guide that I sent you. Even if that one, you're judging with his eyes, he has nothing. Like so many people, they judge us. Adam alayhi salam has just been created. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the whole of creation, now make sajda, make sujud. Whole of creation, because everything in creation is also controlled by the angels. If the angels are making sajda to Adam alayhi salam, everything in creation has to make sajda to Adam alayhi salam. It's not just a couple of rows of angels somewhere. Huh? Meaning all of creation has to submit to Adam alayhi salam. But Shaitan, that is inside of all of us, saying that no, I'm better. At least he was direct, saying I am better. Mankind, they find a more sneaky way to say I'm better, but not saying I'm better. They may say I'm the worst, but question mark this one. No, I'm the worst, I don't know anything, but why he has to do this? Why is that done? I'm putting question marks to everything is done, but I'm the worst. Shaitan is openly saying, people are very sneaky. You understand? So to have this submission, to whom? To a guide. To a guide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have made in that situation all of creation, Azrael, who turned into Shaitan, Iblis, and everything else, and Adam alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have what? Could have made everything to make sajda to him. Couldn't he? But he didn't. Because the whole story begins with insan and it ends with insan. It's a very long story. It's a very big story. It's mind-blowing. And we're just really beginning the story. So if you have a purpose, but your guide is your own ego, yes, it becomes shaitanic. If you have a purpose, and it is aligned to the purpose, to the will of that one, of that guide who has been appointed to you, to the will of the Prophet ﷺ, who has surrendered to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that time, your purpose is a divine purpose. Everything comes back to that Prophet, to his inheritors, because now when we speak about the sheikhs, they are in his inheritors. Maybe you have big ideas about yourself, but that one is saying, just sit at home. Maybe you have big ambitions for your children, but that one says, no need so much. So many times they're going to give things that is going to be against to your own desires. Maybe that one doesn't even know how to speak properly or how to recite properly, or doesn't know. Doesn't matter, he has been appointed. Just as Adam alayhi salam, he has been appointed. And he's just showing some signs. Because although Adam alayhi salam was just, he just woke up, he has not made one sujood to Allah. Not one. Correct? Not the physical sajda. But the first words that came out of his mouth was what? Alhamdulillah. Which is the first ayat of the Quran Kareem. Everything is in that Alhamdulillah, and the angels were shocked. Because this is, if you weigh Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen against everything else in this world, that has more weight than everything else that Allah has created. And He knows that. The angels are shocked. Shaitan becomes even more stubborn. And Allah is saying, now speak. Give them signs. And when He spoke the names, these are names, it's just a sign. A name is just a sign. But from that name, you can open up that reality. So, things become a little bit clearer when you have someone showing you the way. Then it is going to be quick, it is going to be easy, because this part, this leg of our journey in this world is only a handful of years. Do you know how long that grave is going to be? What journey we have to go through in that grave? Do you know how long the journey now that we have to go through in the field of Mahshar, where so many of you, you love your children so much, you love your parents so much, you love everyone so much, but on that field, no one is going to recognize another. No one has any love for another, because everyone in a state of what? Panic. They are going to be naked. Naked doesn't just mean physically, they're going to be like that, meaning everything is exposed. Everything. Imagine everything is exposed. Every thought, every desire, every word, everything that you have done and you have not done, it is exposed. These are the things that we just passed the night of Barat that we should be thinking about. Not just to say, Ya Rabbi, give me more long life. Ya Rabbi, give me more money. Ya Rabbi, give me this, give me that. In the day that the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying there is no shade, because even the sons, they are going to be judged. It's only one handspan between us and the sun. Even the sun is going to be judged. Everything in creation will be judged. The Prophet is saying the ram who has one horn and the ram who has two horns, when they fight together, that ram with one horn will ask for its rights, and the ram with two horns will have to be judged. Everything will be judged. And I believe, was it Hazrati Fatima or Hazrati Aisha who's saying? I think it was Hazrati Aisha saying, fathers and mothers and sons and daughters and cousins and relatives, they are naked, and would they be ashamed to see each other and to run? It says no, everyone is going to be, Prophet is saying, they're going to be so filled with fear and panic, they don't have time to see anything in front of them. They are understanding their exposure. When we ask, Allahumma satrika al-jamil, Ya Rabbi, cover us with the most beautiful cover. This is a Naqshbandi dua, no? That we're making. Cover us with the most beautiful cover. We don't want to be exposed. Not you, not me. So, however much you're exposing yourself now, you will get that beautiful cover. Because you understand, this has to be covered, this has to be covered, this has to be covered. If you're still playing games with yourself, then on that day, it's going to be a big shame that is going to come. We have shame now? Good. If you have shame now, if you're ashamed and you want it to be covered and you're running to ask, that is a part of your faith. Shame is part of our faith. Haya, modesty, whatever word you want to use, because these days nobody likes the word shame. Shame is bad. Fear is bad, right? Okay, choose a nicer word then. Then you understand. Oh, so you're still hung up with words, you're not understanding the meaning. Especially these days, they're teaching from the very young age, don't have any shame. Do whatever that you want to do. No. Allah is watching. Have astaghfirullah ya Rabbi, shame. Astaghfirullah. So in that way, we understand the work that we have to go through a little bit. Take one step more. That we understand why certain things are happening. We understand our guide a little bit more, why certain things He makes it to happen. It is this world, like this or like that, will end. That journey is going to take a very long time. That journey on Judgment Day, that journey on the Sirat, that journey before we even reach anywhere to paradise. It's very long. What is that journey? What is that journey? The journey is understanding yourself. What you put between you and Allah. Take that away. Then it'll be very short. Put more things, then more difficult you're going to find. Crossing that bridge, more difficult you're going to find. Because you're putting yourself there. Because everything in creation, Allah is not having a partner. Allah is never having any partner. Allah is saying there's no partners to me. And nothing in creation is putting a partner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see a dog putting a partner to Allah. You're seeing any angel putting or a mountain saying they're their partner. No, everything in creation remembers and knows his Lord and praises him in a language, their own language, except for who? Mankind. Mankind is putting that. Covering that is not a beautiful cover, that is putting itself as partner to Allah. Understanding? So, as much as we are trying to remove that, then the journey is going to be very short. Don't look all the way to Allah. Look your journey to where first? Journey to our Shaykh, to our guide. I'm controlling my tongue not to say fancy words like what? Fana. Understand? But this, I think, is easy to understand. It is very deep, but it's very easy to understand. We don't have to use those kinds of words. Let's speak in a language that people understand. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's much enough. Al-Fatiha.